Hello everyone, in this video you'll learn about the changes related to runes in patch 8.23 and specifically the new rune stats. Now, you no longer get path bonuses, but you can select one stat from each of 3 rows before each game. You can find those rows in the runes interface. The rune stats can be edited in champion selection. In this video you'll also learn what runes are best for mid lane, how to choose runes depending on the matchup, and much more. So first of all, let's start with the first stat row, Offense. Rune 1 grants 10 adaptive force, 6 AD or 10 AP. As there are mostly carry champions in the mid lane, this rune will be a go-to option for the greater part of them, LeBlanc, Ahri, Anivia, or assassins with physical damage, like Talon or Zed. We will not list all the mages who this rune is good for, let's just say for most of them. Next comes the attack speed rune. It suits the champions who need attack speed to control the lane. Those are Yasuo, Azir, Corki and Irelia. They push the lane with the help of basic attacks, and at this point, attack speed is more important than ever. Rune 3 in this row grants bonus CDR. This is the most rare choice. This rune is suitable for champions who do not rely on the early AP bonus and bet on the late game, like Karthus. He has enough damage in the early game, so 10 AP won't make any difference. But a lower ultimate cooldown will allow him to kill enemies a bit more often. The same goes for Veigar. At the beginning of the game, he is weak with or without 10 AP. And in the late game, he'll be one-shotting the target with any rune set, while early CDR will let him gain AP faster and increase his damage output later on. Let's move on to the next row, Flex. In this row, you can select both offense and defense stats. Here your rune choice depends not on what champion you play, but on the enemy team and game conditions. Rune 1 grants 10 adaptive force, 6 AD or 10 AP, same as rune 1 in the first row. Pick it if you have attack speed or CDR stats in offense row. It's difficult to play without any bonus damage early on, plus this is the default choice if you play in a low or medium difficulty matchup. The other 2 runes in this row give you resists, armor and magic resistance. The choice depends on the game circumstances. For example, if you have a difficult matchup for your champion or play against a strong assassin such as LeBlanc, then the MR rune will be a must. You can also take resist if you're up for constant trades, for instance if you play versus Orianna. In such a situation, resist should be taken for a greater sustain in lane. So in the second row, select adaptive damage in easy and medium matchups and resists in difficult matchups, or if you expect a lot of lane trades. The choice between armor and magic resistance should be based on the damage type of your lane opponent. In the third row, we have only defense runes. Rune 1 grants scaling HP. It's a quite rare choice for the mid lane. The HP rune can only be taken on range mages like Xerath or Vel'Koz, who stay at a long distance and receive very little poke damage. They simply do not need resists, but increased HP pool will be useful against enemy burst damage. The HP rune is good against champions with mixed damage, such as Corki or Ezreal. It will give you more effective health against mixed damage than armor or magic resistance runes. Or you can select it if you don't know who's gonna stand against you. For example, in the lobby you see that the enemies have Jace and Akali. You can't know in advance which of those 2 champions is going to play in the mid lane. Then feel free to choose the health rune. Runes 2 and 3 in this row grant armor and magic resistance respectively. Your logic here is the same as in the middle row. If you stand against a mage, take magic resistance. Against a champion with physical damage, take armor. So now let's sum it all up. For the mid lane, you have 5 main options that you'll use in most of your games. AP or AD plus AP or AD plus magic resistance or armor. This is the most versatile option that can be used on the greater part of the champions. If you are just starting to master the champion and still don't know your lane and jungle matchups, feel free to select this rune combination. You can't go wrong with this one. AP or AD plus AP or AD plus HP. This option is for long-range mages or for a simple matchup where the enemy can't trade with you. It's also good against champions or teams with mixed damage. AP or AD plus magic resistance or armor plus magic resistance or armor. The safest option when playing against strong assassins. Also, this rune set is taken if you're absolutely sure that you can't win trades. It grants low damage but higher lane sustain. AS plus AP or AD plus magic resistance or armor. A good choice on champions who rely on their auto attacks, which help them control the lane. And finally, CDR plus AP or AD plus magic resistance or armor. This one is for champions with good late game scaling who prefer CDR over early game damage. So guys, I guess this is it for now. We hope that this guide will be useful. Follow the simple principles and your rune page will always work. So on this note, thank you so much for watching this video and good luck in your solo queue.